Hello and welcome to our race day coverage of all the action from one of the biggest races of the year. Welcome to the Bluegrass EWS Finale presented by Vittoria. Backdrops don't get any more beautiful than this one. And for the first time in EWS history, we will be racing bikes on these ancient cobbles right here in Finale Borgo. Before we do, though, let's check out the course for this weekend. The course here in Italy will be a monstrously old school 53 kilometers in length with just over 2,000 vertical meters of descending. Stage 1 is the infamous NATO base supported by North Wave. The second stage, the Queen stage, is the biggest test of the day, Vittoria's Cravaciera to Ingegneri. While stage 3 is a dyed-in-the-wool classic, Denise's Little Champery, before the final stage of the day, Bluegrass's descent of Finale Borgo. Here we go, the one they all want to win. This place is where legends are made. Welcome then to stage 1 of the Bluegrass EWS Finale presented by Vittoria. The first stage of the race was Saturday's Pro Stage, which made a little bit of EWS history. After a short but steep plunge through the woods at the base of the Castel Gavone, the racers would emerge into the ancient Finale Borgo Old Town for the very first time. The Bluegrass Finale Borgo stage was 770 metres long and featured a drop of 125 vertical metres. As the riders ascended the path of the 12th century Castel, the crowds were gathering. It was to be disaster for Trek's Hattie Harnden.
You alright?
Just as she'd crashed in the Pro Stage in Crom, Montana, the British rider, who currently sits second in the overall, came unstuck. A former EWS podium finisher, Canada's Jill Kintner, was back in the mix for Finale.
It's a tough one. It's like a fine line between being aggressive and being smooth and keeping your feet up. I definitely could have gone harder on the sprint.
How'd you know?
Another Canadian who wasn't hanging around was Kona Factory Racing's Miranda Miller.
It was really hard, and I'm surprised I had a good time. My goal was to not be 20 seconds back.
There was the familiar sight of two French racers out front. Only this time it was Isabeau Courdurier who took the Pro Stage win ahead of the championship leader, Melamed.
It's very difficult to stay in the lines. It's so hard just to read the terrain, so I think we are in for a really savage day and we'll just try to enjoy it.
In the Pro Men's field, the short Bluegrass Finale Borgo stage was causing chaos.
Couple issues and had to pull over and sort them out.
Sean Neer, Remy Govan and Sam Hill were all in the mechanical wars. Slavomir Lukasic, fourth last time out, was another racer to lose a chain. Richie Rude and Jack Moir were, as ever, almost inseparable. Until this happened to Richie. Coming into the lower woods then, Rude had time to make up. But a misjudged high line from Jack would force the pair back together again. Moir had lost some momentum, but by the bottom corners they were back together once more. In the end, there was little less than a second between them. Moir, this time, edging it. But there was one man whose time beat them both. GT's Martin Mays.
Super hard to not make any mistake and super awkward to ride. It's kind of pleasant because it's totally different tomorrow. A lot of speed tomorrow, a lot of flow. I'm actually looking forward to tomorrow a lot. I had this one clean. I don't think a race won't be lose or win here, so I took it easy, tried my best, and yeah, see what the result is.
After the opening clash of the race then, Martin Mays had a slender lead ahead of the warring Moir and Rude. Specialised Kevin Miquel was 4th and Pivot's Matt Walker was 5th, just ahead of Rhys Ferner. The second stage of the race, the first stage of day 2, was North Wave's base NATO, which saw the racers embarking on a 2-hour-long climb to the very top of the trails high above Finale Ligure. It was a brutally tough way to start the day. Finale Ligure is a famously difficult backdrop across which to race mountain bikes, but with a 2-hour liaison to start the day, it seldom looked tougher.
Liaison to stage 1 was super tight. Yeah, it's real hot and humid and big long liaisons in the sun with the full face on, so I had to try and keep the water in.
The soaring temperatures were forcing riders to take some precautionary measures.
Yeah, it's difficult when there's someone carrying a bag. You just keep drinking, keep eating a lot, stay on top of it through the day.
Jesse Melamed hadn't had the start to the race he would have wanted, but was on the comeback trail. He was 3rd on the stage and back up to 5th. Forbidden's Rhys Ferner was 4th on the stage and had leapfrogged Richie Rude into 3rd place.
A little bit more physical than I expected, but I rode it clean. The track was definitely a little bit more blown out than in practice. Stage 2 is going to be super important for the overall, so I'm going to try to put a lot of effort in there.
Jack Moir took the lead of the race early on. A win on the first stage of the day put him 0.2 of a second ahead of the pack.
All good. Start the day. Need to wake up. That was a tight liaison, so we pretty much got to the top and got straight into it. This next one's going to be Langbuster boy.
Kona Factory Racing's Miranda Miller was carrying on where she had left off in the pro stage. She was third at the end of the stage.
That was so hard. I barely made my start. But I just tried to keep it going.
At the front of the race, it was close between Morganne Charre and Isabeau Courdurier. Charre won the stage, putting her a second behind her compatriot in the overall.
Just so tight at the top, like we had 2 hours climb and then 2 minutes to start. It's hard.
Thank you. The second stage of the day was the Queen stage. Vittoria's Cravarezza de Ingegneri was the longest of the day at 4.5 kilometres in length and featuring a huge middle section pedal. The racers knew that there was time up for grabs for those prepared to dig deep.
It just kept going, like. It's cool, it's proper enduro. It'd be so easy to blow a wheel and get it flat in that bottom section, so kind of had to tone it back a bit and just be smart.
It's a sick track, 11-12 minutes probably, and it's really hard to like keep the speed going in the under because your legs are just sacking, but enjoy that. It's been quite a big day so far and we're not done yet.
I just gave it everything, hoped I could still hang on, and I rode really well for how tired I was, so pretty stoked.
Canada's Miranda Miller was beginning to become unstuck in the heat.
Oh, I'm double leg cramping.
For a second race in a row, Hattie Harnden was having to fight her way back after a disappointing pro stage result.
My arms just could feel aching more and more, so quite happy to make it down in one piece.
The Trek rider was doing well though and was second on the toughest test today. Isabeau Courdurier had put her first wheel wrong off the race. She'd been down on the Queen stage.
I hit my pedal really hard in a rock. It was really crazy physical and I just could not see anything and not knowing where I was going, so I'm just glad I'm done.
Meanwhile, Morganne Charre rode a wave of confidence home to a 16.11 second stage win.
Super fun to ride, but then you have to like save the legs a little bit more at the end, so it's a good balance maybe.
Rhys Werner dropped a chain and dropped to 10th in the process.
Was really hard to manage this stage.
He may not have been feeling it, but Kevin Miquel was now up to third in the overall. Another racer who dropped time on Saturday's tricky pro stage and was now working their way back through was Slavomir Lukasic. He was third on the biggest stage of the day.
So much dust, dark and light. It was like blind, so.
In a day full of tight liaisons, disaster struck for Jack Moir. Aussie won the Queen stage but smashed his rear rim right in the final metres. In the EWS, only racers could help other racers, so it was Moir's title rival who was there to offer assistance when he needed it most. It was a clear indication of the respect the pair have for each other, even as the business end of a hectic 2021 approaches. Moir was rolling again. He still led the race, just 2.65 seconds ahead of Mays, but the pressure was now on to make the next start time in the baking heat. The third and penultimate stage of day 2 was Denise's Little Champery. Named for the famously steep downhill racetrack, the 2.57 kilometre trail represented the most technical stage of the day. The race felt like it was moving further away from Richie Rude. The yellow plate of the series leader was 12th on the stage and now in 6th on the road. By contrast, Rocky Mountain Race Face's Jesse Melamed was on the march. His stage results were getting better and better as the day wore on. Second on the stage had him sitting in second in the overall. Ibis's ever-smiling Zakia Hansen won another EWS stage in 2021, which pushed him up into fifth. Martin Mays, after a stellar start, was now in trouble. The Belgian had a big off, which had left him with a damaged brake rotor.
Very bad, I'm getting tired. It was a hard crash, so obviously not so happy with myself because stage 2 I had a huge mistake and again now, so I'm a little bit disappointed, but that's how it is.
At this time of year, it becomes almost impossible to separate stage results from race results and race results from championship results. Jack Moir had made his start time and 6th on Little Champery, plus Mays' dramas, meant that his lead of the race was now nearly 10 seconds. GT's Noga Karem had been feeling ill all week and was battling through it. She was 7th on the stage and remarkably now up to 3rd. Harriet Harnden was 2nd on the stage and 7th in the overall.
Oh my god, it was really good. I really enjoyed it, but sprint along the bottom, oh my god, it's longer than you think. I mean, I got nothing to lose after crashing yesterday, so I'm just gonna go and have some fun and try and do a clean run this time. That's the aim.
Out front, Isabeau Courdurier won on the steeps of Little Champery, but Morganne Charre, with just one more stage to go, maintained her lead at the front of the race. It was now 16.12 seconds. The fourth stage of the second day was the final one of what had been a particularly ferocious and unpredictable running. The Bluegrass EWS Finale presented by Vittoria race. Short but with plenty of opportunities for mistakes to creep in, it was a second running of Bluegrass's Finale Ligure.
Go, 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 go! Come on! Yeah, go! Go, go, go! Come on! Go, go, go! Yes, come on! Go! Go, 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 go!
Rocky Mountain Race faces Adrienne Lamphey-Nadeau continued her return from injury with a race-high 5th place on the final stage. Ibis's Bex Baraona had been enjoying Finale Ligure all day long, despite the ferociously tough surroundings. As everyone was fatiguing after the end of a savagely tough day, Bex was just warming up. She won the final stage, which in turn secured her a podium position. The British rider was up into 3rd. Bluegrass's Finale Ligure was comfortably the shortest stage of the race. Only a mistake of her own making could stop Morganne Charre making it back-to-back wins in Finale Ligure. Isabeau Courdurier had pushed hard all weekend, but on the final stage she would still find it impossible to get past Morganne Charre. Charre finished the last stage in 2nd place, just one spot ahead of Isabeau. She attacked from the front and would take a commanding win in Finale Ligure by 16.85 seconds.
And that's got to have set you up good for the overall now. How are you feeling coming into Scotland?
Yeah, I really hope I can make it to the podium in the overall, so we'll see. Hopefully we get 100% French overall podium in the women, so we'll see.
Melanie Poujan, the series leader, rode well all day and was rewarded with a 4th place, whilst Noga Kareem fought through illness to round out the top 5. It may have been the last stage of the race and relatively short in distance, but that didn't mean that Antoine Vidal was intending on slowing down. Specialised Racing's Kevin Miquel was 21st on the stage. It wasn't really long enough for the Frenchman to get his teeth into, but the rest of them had been. He would collect another podium finish for 2021 and take 3rd place. Jesse Melamed finished the 2nd run through Finale Borgo in 9th, but was duly rewarded for a superb set of results with a 2nd place finish, his highest result of the year so far.
And I was cramping like mad on that, like all day, so like I was enjoying it, but I was like, I might be able to finish.
Richie Rude would be forced to settle for 5th. He had come to Finale wanting so much more, but given that his rival had dropped to 10th in Cron Montana, the American may just have been content to come away from a 52 kilometres of Finale littered with potential pitfalls. When he had arrived in Finale Ligure, the odds had seemed to be stacked against Jack Moir. The shoulder injury, the slide in the points, and indeed, even during the race itself, that mangled rear wheel hadn't made things easy. But the big Australian had won it the hard way. The victory in Finale Ligure also handed the series leader number board back to the Canyon Collective rider with only 1 round remaining.
Yeah, congratulations on the win today, dude. How was the big day out there?
Thanks, mate. Yeah, it was good to have a couple pedal stages. We've been getting the lift a lot lately, so to pedal up to every stage is pretty gnarly. In the heat, I was getting some serious cramps. But nah, it's good to have another big day.
I saw obviously you had a bit of a drama, a bit of puncture after stage 4. What was it like getting back up to 5 on time?
Well, I actually thought my day was over there. I was losing a bit of pressure on that stage. I think I burped in a berm or something, hitting it too fast, and then right down the bottom, I just ripped a rocky corner too hard and peeled the rim right back, and the tyre wouldn't even seal with a tube in it. So I got the rock, whacked the dog back in, and somehow it held for the last couple of stages.
With that then, here's how the overall title standings look. Melanie Poujan has a commanding 3,885 point lead. After the amazing Finale performance, Morganne Charre has solidified her 2nd place ahead of Isabeau Courdurier, whilst Hattie Harnden moves back into 4th position. In the pro men's, there we have it then, Jack Moir leads the title race once again from Richie Rude. With just 1 round left, there are just 70 points between them. Behind them, that 3rd place spot in the overall is looking so tight. Jesse Melamed and Kevin Miquel have both leapfrogged Jose Borges after strong showings in Italy. Slavomir Lukasic is the only privateer in that top 10, an incredible feat in itself. And in the Teams Championship, Canyon Collective once again got all 3 riders into the top 10 and stay large and in charge at the top of the tree. There we have it then, perhaps the result that neutrals all over the world were hoping for. Richie Rude and Jack Moir will head to the Vittoria EWS Tweed Valley, almost level pegging, just 70 points between them. Melanie Poujan looks nearly assured of the title, but it's all to go on for those 2nd and 3rd spots behind her. Join us in just a few days' time from Innerleithen, Peebles, the Tweed Valley for what should be an absolute thriller. We can't wait to get there. Follow it all on GMBN. on the Enduro World Series social media channels. We can't wait to find out who is going to be crowned champions of the Enduro World Series 2021. We'll see you there.
So long, guys. It's cool. It's proper Enduro.